So one of the questions that we get a lot, Ben, is about what kind of diet we recommend, specifically some of the more popular diets out there, like is this a keto or a paleo or whatever else? And we never quite have the most satisfying answer because it's just literally the healthiest thing that you can take short of preparing, your own perfect meal.
Yeah, I think it is, by design perhaps, I like that it's kind of hard to define because we want it to fit with any way of eating. It certainly is keto friendly. And we base that on the fact that based on our studies with more coming all the time, there appears to be there's no glucose response to this and there appears to be no insulin response. That would mean right there it's friendly to someone who's adhering to a ketogenic diet because the basis of a ketogenic diet is avoid insulin spiking foods. So it certainly works with that, but it doesn't have to. It's simply use it as its own meal, and regardless of how you're eating, it's going to work. It's going to be helpful for you. Don't feel the need to combine it with other foods. It is by design an independent meal in its own right. Let it be what it is, and it's basically a shake that is going to give you full proper nutrition and promote an overall better metabolic state by giving you the optimal blend of macronutrients.
So for those that are, we have a lot, the keto diet has been incredibly popular. In fact, you've spoken at a bunch of low carb and keto conferences and things like that. What would you say to the average person who really does follow a keto diet but would look at our shake and say, well, this has too much protein though?
Yeah, in fact, that was when I first got involved in the low carb community, that was one of the things that I found most troubling. It was what I considered to be a very weird way of eating, namely people just eating or drinking pure fat. They were just adding oils to their drinks and butter and things. And those are healthy fats, most certainly, but we're not meant to just get fat alone. In nature, fat comes with protein almost always. In the inverse, protein comes with fat. That's always the case. We should eat it that way. Part of the fear in the very strict ketogenic diet community is that protein has an insulin effect, and it does. But what is so often unappreciated is that the degree of that insulin effect really varies on the amount of carbohydrates you're eating with the protein. Now, because the way people consume most proteins these days is with carbohydrates, whether by accident or whether intentionally, and that will amplify the insulin effect. If you're taking that protein with fat and it's in the context of controlling carbohydrates, then it's a very modest insulin bump, if at all. And so thus, no fear when it comes to protein. Don't fear protein. Eat it with your fat the way nature intended it to come. And whatever insulin effect you may get, it will be incredibly modest.